rough and ready. Even when I was rough and ready. Even people told us about it. Rough and ready, rock and roll, guys. I was going to say rough around the edges, but rough around the edges and the core. Um, Going, doing it, and then getting drunk, I think would be sort of what I'd classify it as.
Yeah, so we had that gig at the Rifleman, and we were called at the time. We were called Death Valley Driver. That was the name we decided on. I wasn't too happy with that name, but it just seemed like, we were like, fuck it, we're a band, so we need a name, We did. So there we go. We had our first gig at the Rifleman in Hounslow, I think it was. It was fucking awesome, man. It was great. There was so many people there. I couldn't believe it. I was like it just seemed like, all right, this is it now. We're rock stars. We've made it. Like, this is the beginning. And I didn't have a good gig like that for a good fucking year or two. And after that, it was good. I want to say it was a fluke. It was just that it just had this air that we were a new band, and like the other bands had a lot of people, and I guess the middle band, Anton's band, they must have known. I don't know. Just everyone knew a lot of people, and there was a lot of fucking people there. And we made I think we made about £300 or £400 on the door, which we don't even make now at the Black Heart, man. It was a lot of money. I don't know how much we got, because I remember I had it. I took my money and I was like, I'm never going to spend this money. I'm going to keep this as a souvenir. I put it in my notebook, and I think I spent it for weed like a week later. I was going to have it there, put it in a frame one day and be, this is the first money I ever made off music. But yeah, it was a good gig, man. We smashed it.
Yeah, for some reason we managed to hype it up loads. Or was we supporting Ego, maybe? There was this band from Acton, Ego. But I'm pretty sure we brought the whole crowd, really, as far as I know. We managed, because it was our first gig, we pulled in every motherfucker we knew, basically.
Levi's me saying that was great. Levi's gonna be even better. He's like, nah, there was a million people at the gig.
And yeah, for some reason we just got a good hype going off. A lot of it was family and friends coming, but yeah, I don't know. We had no bass player at that point. We were just the three of us, and we done all right, man. I think we pulled it off to it. We still sounded like a fucking amateur band, I guess, but we had a bit of attitude or something. I don't know, it came off all right.
And around here is I was working for Brent Council at the time. I'd finished my shift, and then I caught up with Lee and Boise in the park. I remember it well. They were rolling a joint. No, I think the joint was already, who cares? They're having the bind, right? And then they're like, we got a band name. I was like, what is it?
I actually remember. It was me and Boise walking out of Dollis Hill Station, probably after a day's work, because we used to work together on building sites and stuff. I remember we were walking just out of Dollis Hill Station, and we were just getting to the corner where you do a left to go up. What the fuck is that name? Towards Boise's, whatever. And we were talking about names, and I said Disciples of Electric and Acoustic something, and then we started arguing about what the last D would be, like Decadence or Deviance or whatever. Yeah, so it was basically me and Boise talking about it.
Me and Lima were walking down somewhere, and I was like, oh, well, what are you gonna have? Are you gonna just call yourself Dead, or is it gonna be sort of an acronym? And I just came up it's simple, sort of, but yeah, no one uses the actual name, so I don't even know why it was just part Dead. But I think I came up with the actual wording, but Lehman came up with the Dead thing. It was what it was. It was at the beginning, so it's But yeah, no, it was always just dead. D.E.A.D.
And they're like, it's Disciples of Electric and Acoustic Decadence. I was like, what is that? And they're like, it's D.E.A.D, you know, like dead. And I'm like not selling it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't like it, man. I'll just be honest. I mean, like, if we were gonna have it and do the smart thing, I was like, it's too much of a fucking mouthful. But I was like, but I'll take it. I didn't think of any better name, do you know? So I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's rubbish. You're not gonna have it. Like, I was like, cool, we're dead then. You know, that works. Like, and the good thing, like, I knew from then anyway that we weren't gonna be like a typical band. Like, we weren't gonna be out to you know, please anyone or fit in anywhere. So like, I was like, whatever, we got a wacky name, why not? Cool, let's keep going. At least we got a name now that's not Death Valley Driver, because I didn't like that one either.
At least I did something that no one liked. Yeah, but I can't even, because even that was funny, the names that were flying around and stuff like that. I can't remember any of them now, but I mean, God, there's a lot of work to start in a band, isn't there? Having to get people, having to learn instruments, having to come up with names.
We did the Rifleman again with Anton on bass, and we had Alabama on, which was this old guy that Tom knew. I need to say who these people are, I guess. This old guy Tom knew from Acton. He was like a classic old wolf rocker, net shirt, grey long hair, oh mate, like fucking Ozzy Osbourne, drug addled, like the years have not been kind to him, sort of thing, you know. And we just thought it was fucking cool, man. I don't know. Tom was always like, yeah, he's got like a reel to reel at his house that he's gonna let us use and all that. We never saw it because he died not long after. But
so it was all getting a bit like Larry, really, quite quickly. There was Smoke Machine. I think we were doing like loads of coke and stuff before the gig. Well, no, I don't think Yanni was, but I was. I was literally in the toilet puking my guts up until 30 seconds before we were on stage. And then I was like, oh, you gotta get on stage. Someone come and grabbed me and I went in and I was like, oh, I got on the stage, I was fucked. Played the gig, Alabama done the thing, that was good. He set off the Smoke Machine and it was proper Spinal Tap, man. He fucking, it was burning the shit out of his back because he had it right next to him. Fucking idiot. Like, why the hell would you put a Smoke Machine in that place, man? I don't know whose idea that was. Oh, and also they made a big intro tape that was like about 2-3 minutes long of just like zombie sounds and like this fucking thing. It was like just also over the top for some bunch of dickheads playing their second gig. And a whole load of people died as well from them first 2 gigs as well. This guy Davey from Damn Sly or something. He was like a real cool guitarist. I think he played on the second gig. He died. He got poisoned in Cambodia by some fuck who wanted to rob him. He was like 19. There was another guy on the first gig. He was about 19, had a heart attack. That Alabama guy died well soon after playing with us. So we started thinking there was a curse and shit. But yeah, the Smoke Machine went off and it proper engulfed the whole stage. No one could see Tom Tit. And then we looked back after a while and he was gone. It looked like he fucking blew up like that guy on Spinal Tap. You know when the guy spontaneously combusts. Yeah, so it was like, what the fuck is Tom, man? He's just turned around, he's gone.
And we're playing the fucking song. I can't see fuck all, man. It's like it's beyond, but it's just in the fog, man. Like the whole, and this is like, and this is that in contrast of like when we did the first gig there, it was full of hundreds of people. This time there was about 3 people there, man. You know, like I think you were there. I think Boise was just slumped over the sound desk. He don't even know how to do fucking sound. We were like, you're doing the sound, and he was just sleeping on the desk.
I don't remember detailed their first gig, and I definitely don't remember their second gig, seeing as I was asleep on the sound desk. I don't even know what I did on the sound desk. I remember I was quite drunk, and I remember I had a Yanni or Lee man plonking me down on the sound desk and telling me to press a certain button at a certain time, and I remember doing that correctly.
And it was just a shambles, man. And that goes on. We're playing, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, where's the drums? I look over, and then by the time the smoke's all cleared, Tom's disappeared from the drum seat, and he's pouring water on his back because he's fucking school, like all the smokes just burnt him or whatever the fuck, and he's you know, like that. That was pretty ridiculous. And then Anton, who was filling on bass, he had like a bass solo in the middle of the set.
He was like this proper virtuoso bass player, like fucking proper up his own ass. But you know, he was all right. But yeah, he thought that he would have never joined our band. Like he only done it for one night because like we were a bunch of shit to him, like musically, which is fair enough. We were, like he was like probably his shit. This Anton guy like insisted on doing a bass solo in the middle of the set. Bass solo, man. Unless you're fucking Cliff Burton, like don't be doing that. And it just sounded like shit, man. Like seriously, whatever sound he had on the amp, I think he was going through some effects pedal or something, and it sounded like complete shit. It was like farts and fucking shit. And it went on for like 5 minutes. It was like boom, 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 and we were just standing there like yeah. It was just a fucking calamity, man. Like, and I was so drunk and fucking mashed. Like, I was just thinking on the stage, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't remember if Yanni spazzed out as well, because Yanni like used to spazz out at gigs and go on the floor and like start playing for like 10 minutes and stuff. So like, I can't remember if that happened as well. But I must have been thinking, fucking hell, what's going on? But yeah, that was a funny gig, to be fair. Yeah, Boise was the sound man, and he fucking fell asleep at the desk all fucked. I can't remember what he was meant to be doing, but he had something he had to do on cue or something, and he just passed out at the desk. He literally slumped over it. Oh man, that was fucking funny, man. Yeah, when you think back at it, there was some stupid shit going on.
So around this time, we're still jamming a lot. We haven't got a bass player. And this is when my life really just decided to be with music. I remember, like, at the time, split up with my girlfriend in, I think, May or June of that year. And I was on the way to, she lived in Welling Garden City, and she'd been working abroad for like a month. And I don't know, just doing that gig and rehearsing and writing songs and everything, I knew that this was a life that was waiting for me to get stuck in with. It weren't going to be with her, That's when I decided, like, yeah, this is it. It's going to be a guitar player now. What if I'd fucking die trying, I remember just sitting on the bus on the way to her, just thinking, like, your life can either go one way or the other way. And I had this really, like, fucking weird nervous feeling in my, like, I'd call it like a similar feeling to, like, before I go and play like a gig. Sometimes it's just like this weird, it's like a butterflies thing, I remember holding the bars on the bus thinking, fuck, your life is gonna just go upside down now, and you're gonna love it. like a roller coaster. Like, I felt like I was on a roller coaster, but I was actually a bus just holding it. It was a pretty shaky bus ride, but yeah,
Yanni could have went down an extremely different path to where he is now, sort of thing. She seemed like a completely different person to Yanni, like, from what I did know of her. Nice girl, but just completely at odds with what Yanni is. And Yanni says that it got to a certain point when he knew that he'd either go down the direction he wanted to go, i.e. musically, or he'd stay with Claire. And I think that was a big deal for him, sort of in his mind, when he finally did the decision, sort of thing. Because to be honest, if he had gone down the way he was, he may have been sort of married by now and not picked up his guitar again. So you just never know how things go, though.
So we break up, and then in that kind of time, I'm a bit bummed out because I was there for about 2-3 years, and I was hanging out with my cousin Joanna. She was like in Primrose Hill with her boyfriend Alvy. And that's how I met Jason.
Yeah, my friend Alv, he was boning Yanni's cousin, and they were going out for a while. And then one day we were drinking in Primrose Hill, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring my cousin." And then Yanni came, and then we started just talking about equipment and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, have you got a bird?" And I was like, "No, I'm single." I went, "Oh, good." And he was recently out of a long-term relationship with some small town girl from Welling Garden City. So all he gave a shit about was hating women and, "Oh, we're free, we're lads, we're gonna have our own band." He loves to exaggerate things like that. And then we kind of connected talking, but we didn't think anything serious of it. Then I felt morose. I climbed this tree and I had a couple beers up there while all of them were talking. And then Yanni came by to piss, and I kind of fell out of it. And then I don't know, yeah, we started being friends from then.
Lee, Tom, and me are like, we need a fucking bass player. We'll get into June. We do a gig in Cheshire. It's fucking rubbish. There's a guy there. He says he works with the So Solid crew. Big fat fucker, right? With like a leather jacket on. Like, I'm sure he's got gold rings on. Like, maybe this is how I'm like reimagining him in my mind. Like, he probably didn't look like this, but he was a big fucking geezer, and he's there talking to Vicky, Lee's mum. Like, who are these boys? I could do something with these lads. I could do something with them. They're raw, you know. Like, I could get them out in the studio and all that. So like, we get into like August now, and we're like, fuck, we got studio time coming up. We really need a fucking bass player. Like, it's all kicking off in the world of D.E.A.D. So then we get to September, and it's my cousin's birthday. She's having a house party, and Jason's there again. And we're both waiting to use the toilet. I'm fucking pretty drunk by now, and I just start telling him how he's going to be our bass player. I'm like, you're a guitar player, you know, but like, you're going to play fucking bass for us. It's like, he's like, yeah, I think I got a bass. I'm like, wicked. All right, man, you're going to fucking play bass for us. I pretty much forced him to be in the band.
Pretty much I was practicing guitar. I had no really any ideas about bass. But I had bought one because me and my friend were walking by a shop once. We went halves on a bass. So I had one around. And when I met Yanni, he wanted a bassist.
And he met us like a week later. We went to go and rehearse in Acton. And in typical style, we get there too late. We missed the rehearsal. So we just sit in the pub with Jason talking about what we're going to do. And then the next week, we actually do have a jam with Jason. And as soon as he plugs his bass in, he was right, man. He was just fucking bouncing all over the show. I don't even know how he knew the songs. I didn't even know the fucking songs. And Jason was just like chugging along, playing with him.
I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm too much of a go with the flow guy. That's why my life is so fucking boring. So I always go with the flow. And then Yanni was calling me a few times, and I was like, okay, fine. All I really wanted to do at that stage was play Slayer and really fast thrash. So the thought of playing bass wasn't that interesting. And then I went to practice with them, and it was really shit the first time because I hadn't learned guitar that way or any instrument that way, where you just jam and then you get along and then Yanni plays this rhythm. Him and Lee-Man had quite a good relationship there, where Lee-Man was chucking him these Metallica riffs, these rehashed Metallica riffs, and then Yanni was chucking him back this weird jazz thing, which was really weird. So Yanni would go on a weird tangent and just do his weird jazzy funkadelic stuff. Yeah, and they had a bit of a relationship, and I was just in no man's land. And then at the end of it, it was obviously shit. At the end of it, Yanni just wrote some crappy tabs down. So when I went home, I practiced them. And then at the next at the next practice session, they started playing. And as they were playing themselves, as they were playing a couple riffs, I started getting involved, and then they kind of looked at each other and went, yeah. It might be because they were high on weed and having a couple drinks at the time. But then we realized, yeah, we could make this work as long as they taught me the retard way.
Oh yeah, I can be honest, I was hell about him. But at first I was like, who the fuck is this loudmouth? It's like, I don't know, for some reason, that motherfucker homed in on me to fucking take the piss continuously out of me. I was like, why is he focusing on me? And yeah, I was like, I mean, remember this is the first time sort of meeting Jason, and you have to sort of know Jason to sort of know Jason. Well, if you meet him first time, it may be a little bit, it'll be fun, it's just dawning on you, like, because he's funny, but no, as I said, no filter. So he'll say whatever he wants to say, like, but he doesn't mean anything malicious. He doesn't mean anything. He's just busting jokes. It's all just bants to him, you know. So, and at first that may be a little bit hard to get, and it was for me. It was pretty hard for me to get. I was like, you just don't experience it. And then I thought, oh fuck it. If you're gonna get it, give it back to him, sort of thing. So you start ribbing him. He enjoys it, he starts ribbing you, and then it just becomes like a friendship. And we're still doing it to each other, me, him and Yanni, to this day.
But yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I knew Yanni introduced Jason to the group, I think. Yeah, he was alright. I don't know, I just don't think he got my humour, really. I wanted Scott in the band, to be fair. at that point. He'd done an audition with us, and I thought he was all right. I thought, yeah, we can work on him, you know, and like get him how we want him and that. But I thought, yeah, he's competent enough to do it, and we know him. And then like, not beefing Jason or nothing, but then Yanni bought Jason, and I was a bit like, I don't really know this guy kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I kind of want to keep it with people that we know. And yeah, it was all right. When Jason was rehearsing and recording, man, he was fucking really good, man. Like, he had loads of energy. Yeah, live, he was fucking monster, man. He proper rocked out the whole time, man. He was really good. But for some reason, I just don't think we got on that well, man. Like, me and him. I don't think he got my humour, because I started calling him Tosh on the first day I met him. Like, you know, you call people weird shit, don't you? Like, I was like, you're right, Tosh. And I just don't think he was getting it. Like, Tosh was some old guy from the Bill, man. I was just calling him Tosh. And I don't know, I just sensed he didn't like me or something, but I don't know. There was just a bit of a weird friction going on. But as a guy in the band, he was good, man. Musically, yeah, he fit, but I don't know. I just think me and him clashed a little bit.
Lee, I don't know. I suppose at the time, being the front man, Lee was kind of the boss. So I was kind of trying to go under the radar with Lee, man. Like, but yeah, we kind of got along musically. And as soon as we played the first live gig, I think we understood it could work, you know. Even with Yanni, he was stiff as fuck on stage. He probably would never admit that now. He was a block of cement up there. Because Lee Man would take centre stage, and then Yanni was kind of alone on an island. The drummer was so busy that he was doing his own thing. You can't really drum without being involved. But once I was there and I was on the other side of the stage, then Yanni had something to headbang with, and then we had a whole fucking crazy mess going up on stage.